Live, the news on NBC6 South Florida starts now.
He jerks me around, the cop, and then my robe falls off, and I'm completely naked.
Tonight, only on 6, this woman livid with South Florida police. She says multiple officers entered her apartment for no reason and left her naked for 30 minutes before then being hauled away. And now a police internal affairs investigation is underway. This whole thing happened over a $16 cab ride.
State prosecutors dropped the charges against her, and now a lawsuit is on the way as the woman says the officers were way out of line. Team 6 investigator Willard Shepard is live on Miami Beach with the exclusive details. Willard?
Well, Jackie, in these court records that we obtained, the police officers say they were concerned about their safety when they came here to this apartment building behind me on Collins Avenue. It all started over a cab driver thinking he wasn't going to get paid, and now internal affairs investigators want to know, investigating this woman's allegation she ended up in the nude. This surveillance video shows Candace Padovic coming home. Her cab driver stops to wait in the lobby as Candace heads to her apartment for cash.
It was $16.90, I won't forget, and I tried to pay with a credit card, and when I tried to pay, he said, no, I only take cash.
But just over an hour later, here's Padovic, handcuffed and heading to jail, booked for resisting arrest, battery on a law enforcement officer, and theft. No payment of the $16 cab ride. Also arrested in her apartment, friends Michael Bishop and Marcelo DiBiase. Prosecutors dropping the charges against all three this summer. The arrest happened last year, even though the building surveillance video shows a security employee handing over what they said was a $20 bill for the cab fee. The security worker at the counter in the jacket told defense lawyers he instructed the cabbie to notify police the matter was resolved. But officers Giordano Cardosa and Joseph Gonzalez are seen coming into the lobby after the security team says it gave the money to the cabbie. They stop at the desk, then head to Padovic's unit.
I hear a really loud banging, so I threw on a robe and a towel on my head, and then I went to the door.
In a deposition, Officer Cardoza said that they didn't get an arrest or a search warrant because they didn't plan on going inside the apartment. However, all that changed, they say, when Padovic opened the door, intoxicated, disoriented, and they say she pushed Officer Gonzalez. Padovic has a much different version of what happened.
They pulled me out of the apartment, and my towel fell off my head, and then I start trying to run back inside. The cops come in my apartment, and so he's jerking me around. I have his arm, my robe hanging off, and this is completely open, nothing underneath. And then more cops come up, and I'm sitting there completely naked, and I was so embarrassed and so horrified of the whole situation.
Padovic says she was unclothed about 30 minutes, and these photos, she claims, show some of the scratches she suffered. Cardoza said he only had her by the shoulder and was doing his best to close the robe, but Padovic kept removing it. Here, the cabbie is seen handing back what appears to be the $20 bill, and the security guard told defense lawyers. The police officer said, I could not give the taxi driver the money because it's not right.
It was clearly mishandled.
Padovic's attorney says none of this should have happened. His client believed the cab fare had already been paid when police came knocking.
Given the fact that the security guard paid the taxi driver or even offered to pay the taxi driver, at that point, they should have let it go.
When answering questions from the woman's defense lawyer, Officer Cardosa said Padovic had already been arrested when Officer Gonzalez eventually told him the security guard tried to pay. Attorney, does Gonzalez tell you when you were upstairs that the security guy was offering to pay the $16 cab fare? Cardosa, I didn't find that out until later on. Later on, when writing the A form is when he told me, hey, look, he offered. I was like, it was your call, bro. A female officer did arrive and place a garment on Padovic.
I felt humiliated, violated. The people that were supposed to help me were the ones attacking me.
Now, Officer Gonzalez under oath said that he couldn't remember anyone offering to pay this cab fee or that the cab fee had actually been paid. But that's not what the surveillance video seems to indicate, not what the security guards here said to those defense lawyers, and it's also not what his partner on this case said under oath to those same defense lawyers. All of this tonight being investigated in an internal affairs investigation. Officially, the city of Miami Beach says they can't comment. We're live on Miami Beach tonight. Willard Shepard, NBC6, South Florida.